All this extreme festival action from Dezzi's Raceway is proudly brought to you by Engine, G&H Transport, Speed and Sound Magazine, and Look Oil. Reverse grid now for race number 2. That's going to make for very interesting racing. Simon Moss should be on pole, and we've already seen what an Engine Extreme Audi can do from pole position. But first, let's get onto the grid and meet some of the fans here in KwaZulu-Natal. The big boss of Engine, very happy with the performance of his driver so far. Brad Berg will be looking for another victory now, possibly out of the second driver, Simon Moss. Drop the hammer time, Rob. Here we go down toward turn 1, and Moss gets the whole shot. Looks like Graham Nathan around his outside. No, Charles Mollberger just coming through there to beat out Formato, and look at the pressure already being applied. Yeah, we've already seen after race number 1, not easy to pass around this track, so you really have to pick your moves very carefully. But Simon Moss, he had a little bit of pace in race number 1 coming from the back of the grid. He now reverses and starts at the front, so it's up to him to keep all the rest behind him. Yeah, it's not going to be easy to do that, I can tell you. Speak from experience, because to try and keep out Class X wasn't easy from pole either. Smallberger leads out the Class X as we come through, back on board with Bonafide, and Bonafide looks like they've got that car sorted out. Well done to the VMR team. Yeah, he really needs to pick it up in race number 2. Had a disaster. He was right up at the front and then had those problems, unfortunately, but he needs championship points because this is going down to the wire as you see them come through that long right-hander, and it's nothing but horsepower. Graham Nathan had a great turn of pace in race number 1, but just couldn't make the pass. Now looking for an opportunity to get past on Formato. If he can get through on Formato, his teammates just up the road, they might work together because Nathan still has a chance of wrapping things up in this National Production Cars. As we go through here, check this out. Bonafide all over the back of Michael Stephen, and yet again can't find a way through. Simon Moss already putting a little bit of a gap, so this is exactly what he wants to see. Clear road in his rearview mirrors. There's nothing better than when you come across the line and you already see that you're pulling a gap. And like I said, it's not easy to pass, so it's only going to go. Oh, look at Ryan Kwanchai in the BMW fighting it coming onto the front straight. That Z4 was very much out of shape there, but well held Ryan Kwanchai. Now late on the brakes up the inside of the Shield GTI. Gets through on George Smallberger and takes the lead of Class X. Here comes Mark Dutoy. Possibility of Smallberger losing it. Not only second, but also third place. So much for not easy to pass. Ryan Kwanchai made that look so easy. Just let the brakes go and made that move on the inside. Block pass, nowhere for the other driver to go. So that's the kind of move that these drivers further in the field are going to have to look at doing. Formato there, he's got some Audis right on his tail. He's got problems. I can tell you something because Nathan's got through on him, and now the Audis are going through 1, 2, and possibly 3. Formato definitely with an A-Link car, and there you go, Michael Stephen. He's battling with brakes by the looks of things, so unable to keep out the 3 Audis. Henny Grunewald is now stuck ahead, and he moves up just behind Graham Nathan. He's got Michael Stephen on his tail, and then it's Bonafide behind them. Henny Grunewald did a great job in race number 1, keeping those other Audis behind him, but he's got Michael Stephen and his teammate Bonafide laying the charge down. They really are putting in some impressive laps and closing down on the Sassel Audi man. Speaking of closing down, Nathan is all over Smallberger now. Can Charles soak up this pressure? It's not going to be easy. The big man will not make it easy for you no matter what. And in fact, up into turn 1, he's got the inside line. Is Charles going to give him some room? He is. Wow, that's impressive. Charles Smallberger playing the team game there and allowing Nathan through. Great stuff from the youngster. I think Smallberger also looked at that and thought, I don't want to repair another car. That's Formato. Looks like Formato has eventually parked, and look at this, the Audis are going at it, hammer and tong. Oh, loving this. Michael Stephen forcing Henny Grunewald into a slightly different line as they came into the hairpin. Now they go down the hill, into the double right-hander. Grunewald's got the inside line, should have what it takes on the brakes, and does. Oh, what an amazing move. They really lined it up, got great drive, parked it on the inside, nowhere for that man Michael Stephen to go. Well, let's see if Michael Stephen can find another way, because his teammate is getting away at the front end and actually disappearing from everybody. No one's going to catch Simon Moss, not when he's in this kind of form, but it's kind of indicative of what the circuit can do. If you're on pole and you're able to make your car wide, no one's going to get through. I saw the look in Simon Moss's eyes as he was on the grid. He really wanted to make amends for what has so far been a terrible day. Picking up this race number 2 win, that'll go a long way to getting more points in the championship. Oh, sideways stuff from Bonafide coming onto the main straight. Awesome racing. Would have loved to see the onboard of that. He was completely lit up coming onto that main straight, and of course he hit the bump, which put the car completely out of shape. Well held. There is Simon Moss, and you can see the gap that he's got now over Graham Nathan, who's up to second place. Incredible drive here from the big guy. As always, he is going to be the man to beat because he's already got the overall victory pretty much in his hands. This is the final lap. Oh, and Grunewald runs wide. That is going to open up an opportunity to Michael Stevens. Stevens on his inside. He's on the inside of this turn this time and returns the favor on Henny Groenewold.
You can see Groenewold got it all kinds of wrong coming out the right hand, and that gave Steven the drive, parked it on the inside, and the exact same move that we see Steven put on Groenewold not so long ago.
Thanks, Simon Moss. You could have given me one lap, but across the line, he's going to take the victory. Yours truly right on his tail. That's second place for me, and Graham Nathan will take third. No, only kidding. Nathan comes through for second. A brilliant drive there from Charles Smallberger to keep out the three Audis behind him of Michael Steven, Henny Groenewold, and Gennaro Bonafide. All the way down in 7th place, Ryan Cranchai. He took the Class X victory ahead of Mark Totoy, and then George Smallberger in 3rd. We caught up with Simon Moss with a much better run in race 2.
We're feeling really chuffed. Race 2 went really well for us as a team. I think this weekend's been a good step forward. It's been a long time coming, and I want to say thank you to my father, Mark, for giving me the chance, and especially to Mark for helping me and showing me everything. And I think from this weekend, it's going to get a lot tighter.